One of the rookies that I was a really big fan of during the draft process was Falcons wide receiver Drake London. It's good for me to see him having an impact through 2 weeks. I think 5 catches for 74 in week one, 8 for 86, something like that in week two, and a touchdown. Falcons have been a really unusual team. They had a lead over the Saints, kind of blew that one, or at least forfeited the lead. And then in this game against the Rams, fell behind 31-10, made a furious comeback, blocked the punt for a score, beneficiaries of a safety, threw an interception with about a minute left to Jalen Ramsey, which I can't show you. NFL.com doesn't have those plays available. For whatever reason, they're not allowing us to download interceptions. Anyway, Drake London up here on a slant, and they're running their running back is going out into the flats, expanding this boundary side edge player, leaving all this open space for Drake London to run on top of. Some of his catches have been of the short variety, like this one. At least one contested catch that I can show you from here against the Rams. A couple of opportunities against Jalen Ramsey. One of them that maybe goes down as a drop, but definitely having an impact, showing a lot of athleticism. That whole, paradigm about, he only makes contested catches. He doesn't get separation. That is BS. Here's a speed out down to the boundary. You got the nickel defender down here in this bunch set. So you got 3 receivers for the Falcons. You got the bonus or additional defender for the Rams. Makes sense. It's to the field. It's to the bunch. And Drake London's kind of running the speed out. Your frame kind of cuts off at the bottom of the screen. So, but you'll see he's available for the football, if you ask me. Mariota, however, has this nickel defender right in the window, or at least he thinks he's right in the window, even though Drake London is bringing this speed out, further towards the sideline. As it stands, once Mariota throws the football, that nickel defender kind of goes with the slot receiver. So yeah, it looks like this ball could have been thrown better. But in Mariota's defense, once he's throwing the football, he sees 24 there, isn't sure how 24 is necessarily going to react post-throw. So I understand the throw being high to be safe, to be honest with you, and hopefully prevent an interception. Here he is down here as the X to the bottom side. He's not lined up near Jalen Ramsey this time. Ramsey's to the other side of the field. Over the middle, clean catcher of the football. That's the one thing that I thought I saw at USC that really impressed me, was just how clean he caught the ball. There was times where he was really open off the release, and for whatever reason last year against USC, his quarterback would throw the football in a manner that forced him to make a contested catch. That was my interpretation of some of those thoughts concerning Drake London. Oh, he doesn't get separation. He only makes contested catches. I felt like it was more so due to a lot of balls that his quarterback threw that were underthrown, that were on the wrong leverage side, that didn't recognize where the safety was, and kind of put Drake London in a position where he had to try to make a contested catch. Down here at the bottom of the screen now, got this late developing dig. I love the combination of him and Kyle Pitts. I think Pitts is in the slot here. Got this later developing dig by London. Big body on these targets over the middle. And it's not like he can't get yards after the catch. I mean, he's showing you some of the athleticism in some of these plays. And if you don't believe me, you'll see his athleticism on the final play that I'll show you. I'm a big fan of Drake London, as you can tell. Falcons got a really interesting team. I know a lot of people think that, Mariota is just a one-year solution until they can draft a quarterback next year because the draft class is so deep. I understand that, but I don't look at people that way. I don't look at players that way. I'm glad Mariota's getting the opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, this is definitely one for Drake London against Jalen Ramsey. You can see the ball goes through his hands up on the sideline. I'm going to slow this down for you. My player doesn't do a great job playing these back in slow speed, so we'll give this a shot, and hopefully there's no stuttering for you guys. But you can see Jalen Ramsey's giving him a lot of room, and he's covered very well. Ramsey's all over him. But then once the play breaks down and Mariota extends it, he's able to get the ball to Drake London in a position to allow him to make a play. But point being, when Drake London when he needs to find space against man defense, the play's been extended or the pocket's broken down, he's capable of doing that. You have an example of him doing that right there against one of the higher level corners in the league. Even though he had a very difficult week in his first game against the Bills, Jalen Ramsey did secure this game with a game-sealing interception, by the way. Drake London's perfectly capable of making that play. He'll get more opportunities. I would love to see him take advantage of that one, especially on a big stage as they're trying to make a comeback. Down here at the bottom of the screen, they did throw a number of short passes to him to get him the ball. let him try to get downfield. And I think he does a good job. He's told to by the way, he's told to press this to the outside. That's the way the scheme is being blocked, and then try to cut it back up the middle. I think he's got more than enough athleticism, to get yards after the catch on these plays. Again, down here at the bottom of the screen, off coverage by the DB. Quick little hitch out to the boundary. Seems like that's enough athleticism to me. I'm not sure about you. I don't really have any concerns about him being a guy who can't make people miss, who can't get yards after the catch. There's people who have this like unbalanced view that you have to get yards after the catch on every catch. Well, certain plays are not designed for you to get yards after the catch. For example, like that speed out that I showed you that Mariota kind of threw up high because he was worried about the nickel defender. Plays like that, you're not going to get a whole lot of yards after the catch. A hitch is by definition to be caught at the line of scrimmage. This is a hitch right here, by the way. And then you're supposed to be able to make people miss and get yards after the catch. I think Drake London is a super-looking wide receiver prospect. The Falcons have a very young team. I know Marcus Mariota, Cordarrelle Patterson are not young. They're guys who've been around the league. And had an impact, I think, positively when they've been given opportunities. I'm kind of rooting for the Falcons to win more games than they're expected to, and they've had opportunities in the first 2 weeks. They could very easily be 1-1 because they very easily could have won that first game against the Saints. But I'm not sure if Falcons fans and people in the organization are really rooting for them to win a lot of football games. But Arthur Smith seems to have them in a situation where they can compete. Here in week 2, they fell behind 31-10, I believe, in the fourth quarter, maybe late third, and then they were able to come all the way back 31-27, actually have the ball with about a minute to go before Jalen Ramsey, secured the win with an interception right in the end zone. Let me know what you think of my breakdown of Drake London through 2 games. I think 13 catches, like 160 yards, a touchdown. It doesn't seem to me like their target. He's got, it's not like he's got 30 targets and only 13 catches. It's not, I don't think he's catching on like a 13 catch on 15 targets in terms of percentage, but I feel like he's having an impact. I feel like he's showing you the talent that warranted him being, with the first receiver taken. Clearly, there's 3 or 4 guys up there at the top, actually more than that if you include Jahan Dotson in the first round, guys that, are capable of contributing at the NFL level immediately. Appreciate you guys checking the video out. Let me know what you think of my breakdown of Drake London.